Alright, here we go. This is a ranked 2v2 match on Nesthorn between the green team in the upper left-hand corner, boomhower in the Steampunk Bomber, and Valinor in the Star Neo. This is their usual combination that are very infamous for, especially in matchmaking. And their opponents are the red team in the bottom right-hand corner, rigelglen in the Standard Neo, and Sanguinius13 in the Standard Osprey. And this is a ranked 1v1, ranked 1v1. This is a ranked 2v2 on Nesthorn, boomhower and Valinor, representing Grizzly. I am gonna, you know what, I feel like calling out, faction associations now. Boomhower and Valinor representing Grizzly Wing, and rigelglen representing Bloods, and Sanguinius13 representing his own faction. I'm pretty sure it's Blood Angels. And right now, obviously going to be a big rush for mid. Probes going down, and soldiers going down as well. Boomhower slashing away. This outpost does go red, but I do not think it will stay red for very long. There are a lot of green infantry over here, and it does go, oh no, there is one bulb down, up, and does go back down to neutral, and a lot of red units over here, so I don't think green will stand much of a chance of taking this. Yeah, Rigel and Sanguinius have, wow, that is a lot of units around there. I'm not really sure how they got so many there, but they just continually brought them instead of dropping infantry, because they were able to get the initial, the initial take on this post. They were able to take a little bit more time. Instead of bringing infantry over, they were able to bring a lot of units over, and now Boomhower getting EMP. It has to cliff walk off. Does not actually, is very low in life, does get taken down by Rigel, but Rigel getting taken down by Valinor. And now there is a 1v1, brief 1v1 here between Rigel and Sanguinius. Valinor bringing probes, gonna take this outpost, but will get taken down very quickly by these Longhorn and Jackal. Wow, all those red units did get cleared out. Boomhower is dropping Dillos. They are going to be able to retake this and reinforce it fairly well. Rigel's the only one alive. Sanguinius does get killed by Boomhower there. But Rigel, and Boomhower killing the red units on the side. They are pushing really, really hard for this. And Valinor, that was a quick ninja, but I'm pretty sure that was an infantry drop by Rigel just now, but Valinor will be able to clean this up pretty easily, but it will take some of his time, and Boomhower is the only one over here, representing green team. And whoa, where's Rigel going? Just doing a quick fly by Valinor does finish him in that on his way back to his outpost, and now green does have mid. There is already artillery firing in, to be expected, especially once you've kind of conceded mid. Then that's when you do start throwing artillery down to kill as much opposing units as you can. Jackal causing a lot of trouble for two green players over here. Boomhower trying to get a socket unit, but does not get it. But he is actually left alone. Sanguinius is the only one here, has to drop, but Boomhower is going to be able to Viking dance up and does stay out of Sanguinius' fire for a pretty long time. Does not let up on these moneymakers, and Boomhower is getting a lot of kills or a lot of hits off on these moneymakers. Is going up and down. Sanguinius is trying to match as much as possible, and Rigel does come back to finish him off, but now Valinor has a lot more Dillos over here in mid. I'm not. Is he putting that? He's setting that down for them to have to take care of. And Rigel does take a little bit of time to kill it, but that was not really that effective. Valinor bringing. What was that? That was an armadillo hiding in behind trees. How dare you, Valinor? I can't see those. And so now that will get cleaned up by that Longhorn, and Boomhower taking care of the neutrals over there will allow creeps to flow in, and whatever green units whatever units that green does decide to flow through there. And they're all Valinor very low on life, but does not get taken down there, does not get focus fired by the two red players. And now Rigel trying to intercept Boomhower in killing those neutrals, but does not get it. Boomhower gonna do the same kind of double bombing we have been seeing on a lot of high tier play, and yeah, it's just so effective, guys. I'm not really sure how to combat against that. If there are some really high level, pro level players that want to tell me how to beat these double bombs, then please let me know, because I really do want to know. But Boomhower not letting up, still making bombs in his build, and Valinor just continually dropping over here at this factory, forcing the red players to divert their attention over here, and that does give Boomhower a lot more freedom to do this double bombing. I'm not going to call it double bombing because it's a lot of bombs dropped after a single bomb unit. Rigel getting Boomhower in that exchange. Boomhower does not get away quick enough, but Sanguinius is forced to deal with this. Green has been able to take this outpost, and I did miss that one watching Boomhower Valinor get killed. But Valinor has been able to take this. He is going to finish off this Longhorn, and green now has the advantage, and they are going to be able to hold this pretty well, I think, especially because a lot of the red units have been, have been allocated to trying to take mid and keeping this power station up here. But if they do decide to allocate a lot more units over here, red team, if they do, then the power station over there will be a lot more will be more open to be taken, and probably green will be able to take that as well. Rigel does take a moneymaker down with those two jackals in support. Does get finished by Rigel, by Valinor and Boomhower both firing. But I've always been of the opinion, if you can get at least one moneymaker down, one moneymaker down, then that is worth the trip, especially because the cost of a moneymaker, not pre-game, but post-game, the cost of a moneymaker is more than the cost of your mech to be rebuilt. Valinor gets taken down, but the problem is, especially in late game, which we are not really at yet, we are pretty much in mid-game, but when you are in late game, the respawn time and just the absence from the field does really kill you. So even if you get a moneymaker kill in late game, I think is probably where you want to draw the line. When the respawn time is so detrimental to your position, then that's really when you want to trade your life for a moneymaker. But green still has a pretty good hold on this bottom outpost, and because they have this factory, these three sockets are not under green control, and when you are playing on Nesthorn, the factory is much more valuable to hold than that power station, just because those socket units are, or those sockets are very effective. And having 3 versus just the 1 at the power station is really detrimental to your progression. Boomhower getting killed by Sanguinius and Rigel's focus fire, and now Valinor is the only one here, but he's completely fine. There are a lot of artillery firing over here in for green team, and there are, well, really not that much left for red. Red really has to start saving all these units that are getting rained on by these artillery. And Boomhower doing double bombs is going to get this. Oh no, I thought he was going to go for the moneymaker. He's shooting Rigel, and Rigel has to drop the artillery. Oh, Valinor killing Rigel right next to his fort, and Sanguinius over here not supporting Rigel. But I mean, it wasn't really 100% justified for him to do that. Rigel was trying to stay over here and handle this harass from Boomhower, and Sanguinius was over here fighting against Valinor. But Valinor doing a quick run down was able to get Rigel, and Rigel killing Boomhower, getting his revenge there. And now Boomhower has to sit and wait for that respawn. But green is pretty well off in this match right now. They have mid, they have that bottom factory, and right now they just got to push enough units, and economically they can just afford to throw away a lot more units than red. Red really has saved as many units as possible just because they're so far behind economically that they really need to I actually really agree with this artillery positioning. They need to be on the defensive right now more than the offensive, just because green is really ahead economically, which I've repeated over and over. But it doesn't negate the fact that it is true. But they still lose this outpost, and these red artillery will probably get killed, because I do not think that the red team will be able to save it with all this green pressure in the area. Rigel is I would cloak. Rigel cloak. No, oh, Rigel does go down. It is really hard. I play Neo quite often also, and it's just really hard to remember that cloak. And Sanguinius getting focus fired over his fort, does get killed. Holy crap! Oh man, and Valinor and Boomhower and Sanguinius throwing up the OMFG just because that is really ridiculous. Getting focus fire over your fort is just really depressing. That hasn't really happened to me that many times, and when it has happened to me, it's probably because of the whole sending seekers the fort and making you want to rage quit thing. But yeah, getting focus fired is no picnic. Those who have been focus fired over their outposts know what I'm talking about. It's incredibly sad. But Sanguinius and Rigel are both back, fighting against Boomhower and Valinor as the best that they can, but this Goliath, they do drop a Goliath. They are way ahead in the levels. They are 2 levels ahead of red, and just talking about all that stuff, I have not really noticed the levels, but green has hit level 7. Both of them are at level 7. Boomhower does go down to Sanguinius, but they are just really pushing it. well, red had an artillery firing in. I don't think it's firing in anymore. They have put that on a defensive stance, trying to attack any incoming units over here. This Goliath is going to stay there for a really long time, just because it's, well, it will get killed actually pretty soon. But you know, dropping Goliath in the enemy's face, and especially if you can save it, is really, really awesome. Just because the Goliath takes so much time to kill, and if you can grab it right before it dies, then that is just a bunch of wasted time for the enemy. And if Valinor, you know what? Valinor doesn't even need to grab it at this point, because there's so much pressure going on the front door of, you know, on Red's front door that yeah, oh man. And Valinor killing this moneymaker, not even going for fort health. Actually, neither Boomhower or Valinor are going for you know, fort damage. They're just going straight for moneymakers and whatever units Red drops there. Just because, you know, if they do go straight for fort, they probably will. Red will probably shut it down just with all the blocks and with all of the attacks from the back, you know, on tanks. So going for the units straight up, especially with all these Berthas firing in, it's really gonna shut them down a lot more. It's kind of, if they push hard for the kill, it's a lot more prone to getting countered. So what they're doing, I think, correct me, Valinor, if I'm wrong, but what they're doing is playing it much more safe. Even though they don't really need to, they are just playing safe. Sanguinius taking down Boomhower there, but now they are going for the kill. But they were playing it much more safe, trying to take down more units there, especially because there were units on the front door, on Red's front door. And because of that, they were more prone to either counterattack or getting their push shut down. So, you know, by focusing units instead of base or fort health, fort damage, they were playing much safer. And now, obviously, clearly, they do have the upper hand. They have a lot of units over here. They have killed pretty much all the units that Red drops. Every time Red drops a unit, it just goes down really, really quick. Especially with Valinor's EMP here having their attack, their DPS. And now, Green Team does take this game. Valinor and Boomhower do take this ranked match over Sanguinius and rigelglen. This is RUI, and that's game. See you next time.